Robby, what's on your radar today?
Well, on Tuesday, former President Donald Trump's Truth Social account shared a new campaign video, albeit one created by a random fan. The video featured fake snapshots of future newspaper headlines predicting widespread prosperity under a subsequent Trump presidency. The creator used a pre-existing newspaper template and simply replaced some of the headlines. But some of the originals, also still visible, and eagle-eyed users spotted a curious phrase, the creation of a unified Reich. Let's watch.
What happens after Donald Trump wins? What's for America? The economy booms. American energy is unleashed and an end to crushing taxes. The border is closed and the largest deportation in history is underway. No more wars as we focus on home. Law and order is restored. The American dream is back and the best is yet to come. Make America great again.
Now, this prompted many people on X to proclaim that Trump had endorsed the creation of a unified Reich with reference to the Third Reich, another name for Adolf Hitler's Nazi government. Anti-Trump political group The Lincoln Project accused the former president of, quote, openly copying Nazi language. ABC reported that the ad used language from Nazi Germany and referenced Adolf Hitler. CNN's Manu Raju confronted random Republicans in Congress and demanded that they answer for the advertisement. Let's watch.
The former president posted something on social media about a, quote, unified Reich, and that's generated some criticism.
I don't know. See, I don't follow. In case you hadn't noticed, the world's falling apart. Have y'all not noticed that?
There's also a presidential campaign. The former president posted on social media calling for a unified Reich. I'm wondering if you have concerns about that. Do you have any concerns about the former president posting about unified Reich on social media? Good morning.
Representative Jamie Raskin, Democrat from Maryland, said that Trump had used an anti-Semitic dog whistle. The View's Sunny Hostin agreed that Trump was signaling to his racist and anti-Semitic supporters. Even former Labor Secretary Robert Reich, no relation, opined that this was yet another example of hidden Nazi symbiology embedded within the Trump campaign. Perhaps a man named Reich might have asked some further questions, but alas, the Trump campaign disavowed having had anything to do with the ad and deleted the Truth Social post. But as we discussed yesterday on Rising, as it turns out, the assertion that Trump was tacitly endorsing some form of Nazi government is highly misleading, if not outright false. The video was made using a newspaper template that is widely available, and that template includes headlines that pertain not to World War II, but to World War I before the existence of the Nazi Party. The unified Reich in question is the German state under Kaiser Wilhelm in Germany. The word Reich simply means the king's realm. Germans considered the Holy Roman Empire to be the First Reich and the German Empire, which ended as a result of Germany's losses in World War I, to be the Second Reich. Hitler's evil empire was the Third Reich. Now, to be clear, the template is just that, a template, and the point of the ad is obviously not to suggest that Trump's policies have anything to do with the pre-existing headlines, but in any case, the one causing all of this consternation does not actually have anything to do with the Nazis. Enter President Joe Biden. Just a few hours after the ad attracted so much attention, the Biden campaign released a response video.
What's next for America?
Is this on his official account? Wow. A unified Reich? That's Hitler's language. That's not America's. He cares about holding on to power. I care about you.
In his response, Biden watches the Trump ad and then responds with rising anger. A unified Reich? That's Hitler's language. That's not America's. Again, this is a wildly inaccurate summary of the video. Don't hold your breath waiting for the media, fact checkers, or one of that sort to spring into action and correct him. Few mainstream journalists even bothered to set the record straight. Now, The Atlantic's David Graham and Vox's Zach Beecham did, to their credit. But an Axios write-up of Biden's response offered zero pushback. It was the same story at NPR and the same story at Politico. None of those articles mentioned some of the points that I just got into. Now, look, the point is not that Trump is innocent of all loathsome connections. He told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. He infamously dined with Kanye West and white nationalist leader Nick Fuentes at Mar-a-Lago. Now, Trump claimed he didn't know Fuentes and had not specifically invited him, but you can make of that what you will. Biden and the media, however, have truly seized upon a nothing burger here, and the media's vast fact-checking apparatus is suddenly asleep at the wheel. Now, Brianna, I know we talked about this yesterday, and I didn't think it needed any additional commentary until I saw that Joe Biden was making this little molehill into a mountain, falling for all of the same things that everyone else fell for. And I don't really care particularly because campaigns are nasty and people are always saying untrue and unfair things about their opponents, whatever. But it's like when that happens on the right, the media is going to pick over every aspect of the criticism, where in this case, like even all of the reporting about Biden's response, most of it does not mention that like the whole Nazi connection is totally overblown.
Yeah, look, I frankly think that I am more judgmental of the media for getting this wrong than Joe Biden for wanting to exploit the moment for his own political needs. And I also think, look, liberal media is going to defend Biden and attack Trump and cast everything in the worst light. And Republican media, conservative media, does push back against this, did fact check it, did call out liberal media for getting this wrong. So I don't know that this is a media issue. It's the fact that we have a polarized media ecosystem, and conservative news media lies about the Democrats, and Democratic news media lies about Republicans, and that's why so many people seek out alternative news in the first place. Now, I think you're right when you point out that part of the reason why this kind of a misrepresentation is so goes so far and gets so much traction is because Donald Trump has put himself in the situation over the years of saying things like stand back and stand by when asked specifically if he would disavow the Proud Boys after their march in which Heather Heyer was killed. In sitting down with the likes of Fuentes. But I think that on the other hand, liberals would be better off if they focus on the things that Trump really did say. In a recent interview, for example, he was asked whether or not he would put any restrictions on people's ability to get contraceptives, not just abortion rights, but contraceptives. And he demurred, saying, well, we have a policy coming out about that soon. I don't know, just wait, we'll have a policy coming out that soon. Now, he had to go on Truth Social and walk that back after Joe Biden again capitalized on a presidential candidate's unwilling to say that, of course, he's not going to prevent your ability from getting contraceptives. It's not 1960. But that's what Trump keeps doing. He sets up these kind of, he tees up the ball for the Democrats and walks into this stuff over and over again. At a certain point, yes, there's a media criticism story here, but there's also a kind of campaign capability issue here. And why does Donald Trump keep opening himself up to these really easy hits from Joe Biden, who's flailing right now? And all Donald Trump kind of has to do is stay quiet and stay the course.
On the media front, conservative media is very much filled with ideologues and activists and former Republican political officials, and is geared toward the project of, yes, calling out Democrats and helping to support the Republican Party. But and then liberal media, it depends exactly what you're talking about. But some of the outlets I was pointing to, that like Axios, Politico, like they wouldn't think of, we might derisively call them liberal media, but they think of themselves as down the center, just calling balls and strikes, calling out both sides, and that's the sort of asymmetry I'm calling out here, right? They are blinded, and maybe they don't even see it, that they can't point out that this was just they would have easily said it was an unfair hit if Trump did something like this, or Republicans pounce. We hear that all the time, but here they didn't bother to do the little bit of fact checking of this Biden ad, even as they were covering it. Like they wrote articles specifically about Biden's response, not referencing any of that. So that's all I. Yeah,
I guess maybe I'm a little less. I'm a little more disenchanted already with
I'm disenchanted, but as long as they keep saying, if they just present themselves as, yes, Biden partisans, then okay, fine. But
yeah, all right. Well, I think that it's a good hit. I think you're completely right in the criticism of these media outlets. I think the only difference is that I don't even think of them as neutral or right down the center at all anymore. And media companies are going to do what media companies are going to do. Stick around. We have more non-establishment media coming up for you next.